We're back. Toxic Masculinity Part again. Here with Don, the Predator Frye, and Dapper Dan Severn here right now. That me, Dapper Dan.
That's the duh part. Good, Dan.
So, we're doing yet another episode here of Toxic Masculinity, but we're outside. We've been out here. We've had Tony Martinez. We actually sat in here for a little bit, so we were able to let folks know that we're in your backyard, and we got this beautiful mountain terrain on the backside, and the mountain terrain is the
Santa Catalina Mountains. I built those just for this set.
Just for this set,
yeah.
Right there. The mountain behind it.
Took me the weekend, with one shovel. Well, I broke a couple of shovels, but a shovel and a wheelbarrow, and I built that in just for you.
Nice. I mean, it is a little warm here right now. Can you do something about that sun?
No, I won't. I refuse to. I've had enough of complaining.
Alrighty. So, again, throw a little shout out there to Naked. Okay,
Stay naked
kitchen.
Stay naked kitchen, baby. Stay naked, baby.
Well, tell me a little bit about this company, okay?
These boys, Corey, he's a fireman here in Tucson Fire Department. Oh, a redundancy on my part. But he's been feeding me here for the last couple of months, and damn good food, man. He got
a variety of everything,
shrimp. He got shrimp tacos going on now. They're just fantastic.
So like weekly specials or monthly specials, or how does it? Is it?
Well, you order. Basically, I think
he
feeds me by the week. Yeah, they have a large menu. I believe about 10 to 15 different items, and comes in a little tray. So that way, you just pull it off, take the plastic off, throw it in the microwave for 2 minutes. Boom, you got dinner. It's a good dinner too.
Wow. Well, no, again, I just try to learn a bit more so that if our viewing audience wants to ever, order something up from Stay Naked Kitchen, it's kind of going. Just when you think about naked people and food preparation, it's kind of going,
Makes you nervous, huh?
Well, I can think of a few jokes I know from the past, but I don't think they were, quite, would be meant for this audience at this point in time. Especially, I don't think they'd be that appreciative.
I don't think Stay Naked would appreciate it. No.
Yeah, exactly. So, no, we appreciate the fact that Stay Naked is actually doing something like that.
Yeah, look at here.
Oh yeah, Tony brought in a couple little samples here right now of what Stay Naked
barbecue
does.
rub beef. I got cornbread, beans, and then over here Carolina barbecue pulled pork.
So basically, just a full meal.
Yeah.
Right there. You said, like I said, just takes you just a few minutes in your
microwave. Yeah, and you're good to go.
Alrighty. Well, thank you there, Tony.
Dishes included.
You got your.
If you're really lazy, you get a plastic fork.
Sounds like right up my alley.
Yeah.
Doing dishes afterwards.
Just use the back of your hand, and you're good to go.
Well, that's kind of what you have that mustache there for.
It's it, baby.
You never know. You might have half of a sandwich left in there.
It's it, man. You just fish around in there and you fire.
Whoa. Well, that was from last week.
Yeah. Just hope it's not fish.
Alrighty. So, questions. What do you got there for us, Brandon? Anything here right now, or Tony? Take us into yet another direction.
Well, we like to do a segment with you guys discussing some of your former opponents that you both faced.
I don't want to do this. This one doesn't interest me at all. How about you?
Well, good thing it's not up to Don.
But I think we'd like to start with Tank Abbott.
We'll start with.
Did you hear crickets just in there?
Yeah. I heard crickets. No, that was Jerry sitting down. He just got back from the grocery store.
Run different errands. Like I said, we got all kinds of stuff that's taking place behind the scenes here right now.
Well, I would like to start with Don on the Tank Abbott aspect of.
I'll start up there because I think I was the first of us two to actually engage with Tank. So I'll start with that. I mean, when I first heard of Tank Abbott or seen of Tank Abbott was, I forget, he ended up knocking out like a 400-pound sumo with one punch. And as when he gets
Samoan, not
okay,
sumo.
Okay,
Sumo.
all right. All right. So sorry, I didn't throw enough.
Yeah. Need a couple more vowels.
Okay, all right. Yeah, okay. There you go. I was really good at construction. Did I tell you about that? Not that spelling aspect.
Took you a while to learn which end of the shovel to hold.
So, anyway, watch it take. He knocks this guy out, and literally his body is going into involuntary action where he's just stiffing right on up and kind of going into involuntary convulsions.
Jesus, yeah.
Yep. And Tank Abbott struck this man, and I'm like going, whoa! When he did that, I just lost every aspect of respect for Tank Abbott. Just the fact that this he's down. He's not trying to fight back. I mean, he's down. His body is stiffening up. He's doing the funky chicken flop is what I kind of refer to that as well. I mean, that's where the referee should be. Again, it was so early on in the UFC stuff that the referee should have been down there protecting the whole 9 yards. But the fact that still that a man would think of striking another person like that, when that happened, I'm like, wow, that just. I know exactly what went through my mind. I going, oh, I was so angry when I saw this. I did my mind. I'm thinking, I hope one day. I know. I hope. I go, if I should ever face this man in that cage, evil him will have begot a greater evil, because there's things that I can do and turn on that most people don't know how to tap into, and I will.
That's generally when you're on the toilet, though, isn't it?
That's only as I get older. Okay, I've had to redirect the chi power.
Yeah. Choo-choo GT.
Yeah. By the way, you do need a fresh roll of toilet paper in there. I just thought I'd better bring that to your. We don't have Charmin on it to sponsor her yet.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It was paper towels, wasn't it?
Well, that's only when you have a really bad. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, moving along.
Moving right along.
Yeah. I just I did not have any respect for him for what he did to a fallen opponent like that, and then I ended up having my opportunity to actually have a match. But that was kind of like my first impression of a Tank Abbott. And then to see him in additional interviews and basically very lackadaisical, disrespectful, bar brawling, just did not represent anything good about the thing about, again, what got the Ultimate Fighting Championships out of hot water was Jeff Blatnick. And Jeff Blatnick talking about the martial arts. And he talked about, he is the one that came up with this whole concept here of this is mixed martial arts. These are athletes from a broad diversification. Yeah, you got some street fighters, aka Tank Abbott, but then you also have other people that are a taekwondo this, a karate that, a judo this, a boxer that, a wrestler this. So I mean, you were probably, when you came along to done, you probably were the most able-bodied individual. You were a wrestler who actually had a boxing background.
And judo too. Yeah.
So I mean, you had submissions, and you had the wrestling, and which would mean already the wrestling was shown as a dominant factor. But the fact is that you could strike on your feet, and you've got some of the most incredible highlights. I mean, again, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Just you and your match against Takayama in Pride, where you basically run out there and for almost like better than a minute, where you guys are just throwing punch after punch to the point that you're actually cradling each other's head with a collar tie, and as your collar tie, you both are simultaneously like punching each other in the face, and you're playing almost what looks to me like a game of kitchen. It's kind of like a game of chicken. It's kind of like, I'm punching you in the face, you son of a bitch. Are you gonna quit? And he's like going, nope, you son of a bitch, I'm gonna keep punching you in the face until you quit. And the guy, the reality is,
I got lucky then.
I say that who really won that match? Really, it was the audience. The audience were privileged to something that they will never witness ever again.
Right.
I mean, it's just no one's going to. Not too many athletes will ever go out there and do something like that ever again.
No.
You know, when you first came to me and you wanted to jump into MMA, I knew this was your home. I mean, it was. I wish I could have redirected you to something else, but at the same token, I knew that he's going to do good. Because you're strong-willed, strong-minded. Other words are like bullheaded. they all mean the same thing.
Polite,
but I mean,
yeah.
Okay. I'm using the more polite version, but no, you are so strong-willed. I simply know that they'll have to take you out unconscious before you'll ever stop, and that's what I knew about you.
Yeah,
so that's I just knew you.
That's a great compliment.
Well,
for you,
it's
partner.
again. I mean, I wasn't the one that wanted to get out there and get. I wanted to kind of keep the money
That's
to look
right,
at
yeah.
someone attacking right there.
You got beauty to worry about. I don't.
When I'm at the old folks' home there later on, I want to be looking at them gals. Hey, gals, that'll be the palsy right there. They'll wiggle in the head. Hey. So, but no, that's what people witness, and when it still plays to that day, and hopefully we will get a chance to actually show that clip, because that is a phenomenal clip just to show, because again, just talking about, we talked about this on a different episode, we talked about history, and here in America we forget our past all too soon. And that's where, again, we're talking more about the politics aspect.
Well, they try and make us ashamed of it, and there's nothing to be ashamed about.
No, it was the rules, it was the regulations, it was what was at play at that time, and we played by the rules.
Right.
And we did everything that was asked of us, and we went beyond those aspects. So it's people just people need to grow up. People need to take accountable their own actions, and maybe.
Or they need to be knocked on their freaking ass.
Well, I think that more people actually need to be knocked on their ass because they aren't accountable for what they're saying or what they're doing,
Right.
and they think, oh, what can you do? It's like, touch me, and
Right.
my parents will sue. Touch me, and I'll sue. I mean, it's kind of like going. We live in a very pussified society, because again, there's no repercussions. And again, we talked that about our news media. We talked about that about people with gender. That there's even talk about just gender. Just the word gender. There used to be just sex of a female sex and a male sex, and now you have all this transsexuals, and you got these, thems, those, and those that don't even know what don't know what they is. So.
What's ifs and whores.
So, I think we kind of exhausted that. Let's go to a different area, a different question.
Well, are we going to talk more about Tank, or we're done with that?
Oh no, we can talk about more about Tank. I mean, I just talk about that was my first impression. Well, Don,
I would like to, but your first fight with him.
Okay.
He like you dominated him, right? That one you kept him on. I mean, he didn't even get up off the ground.
Well, I mean, Tank already showed. Did I want to get into a fisticuffs with Tank Abbott?
No.
Because I don't have. That's a weakness for me.
Yeah.
I knew what my strength was. My strength was my grappling ability.
Yeah.
He has to be, or my opponent has to be within arm's reach in order to punch, elbows reach to hit, knees, kicks, or feet kicks. So I was always good about keeping a certain distance. Coming, to step in, step back to where you get them to commit to something, knowing that the moment they throw it, they bring back, and as they bring back, now move in.
Was that the most strikes you threw in a fight?
What's that?
Was that the most strikes you threw in a fight against that one?
Oh, obviously, yeah.
You threw a lot of open palms.
Bitch slaps.
Knees, elbow. You threw some rough knees.
Yeah,
to
but
him.
people don't understand.
Oh no! You don't want to punch someone in the back of the head with a closed fist.
Well, but also what I'm looking at is I'm aiming for your ear.
Yeah.
I'm aiming for your ear with this, because if I smack this ear, I'm trying to perforate your eardrum.
Yep.
So by perforating your eardrum, now I'm going to affect your equilibrium, your sense of balance. So I mean, it's kind of like Big John knows that I'm tried to dissect my opponents.
Yeah.
I've tried to take certain aspects for them. I mean, there's a lot of
What,
times
so
that,
you can eat them?
well, no. I mean, I know. I like to chow down.
Yes, eating
Okay.
comes up with you a lot.
Well, it does. I mean, and I actually can tell you, as I crisscross from Phoenix, Arizona, back to Coldwater, Michigan, state by state, city by city, buffet by buffet.
Yes, yeah. That's
Which
how you have
ones-
it mapped out, yeah.
Which ones are open? Which ones does the best? Okay, so
It's a
yes.
gas station. It's a buffet to buffet, toilet to toilet.
Yeah, well, again, it's always good to know where those truck stops are at, where it gets the best price on gas and stuff like that too. I got that mapped out as well. Again, Dan Severn is a very calculated individual. Almost everything I do has to somehow make cheap. I think there's a bird in the studio over here. There's a bird. I heard him. He's cheeping over or chirping over there.
And that was one of the first times the match went to the decision, wasn't it? In that match.
I actually, yeah, that was actually at the ultimate
Ultimate one.
and it was the first time they actually put in time constraints, because prior to that, I'd been involved with a match with Hoist Gracie where we went beyond like the 16.
I think it was like 20 minutes or something.
It went off the air, so they knew they had to put
Marco
time
Huas and Paul Vargas went in UFC 7. They went long
beyond the
too.
okay.
Right?
I don't know. Sure, I
Yeah.
just know that was a very interesting match because that's where Paul Vargas got his leg really chopped out from
Yeah,
underneath
but
him.
they went beyond the
regular
pay-per-view
time.
limit.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why they had to bring that in.
Yeah, so it had to, because bottom line is the UFC is still a business.
Yeah.
And you get away a lot for so much time. And even early on, they did not have all these interviews or other training segments.
Right.
So like in the very beginning, especially the first couple of UFCs, matches were going, the average match was like 2 minutes, 22 seconds. So very violent, 2 minutes to 22 seconds. And now they're like, they had all this filler times. Like going, what do we talk about? It's like, go to our website, buy our T-shirts. Did anyone find that tooth that got knocked out? That last guy, and so I mean, literally they're lost. But it's a well-oiled machine now. They have all these interviews. They have training footage on these guys and gals. Because, like I said, even then, even though we say guys a lot of times, there weren't any women fighting in the no holds barred era. It was all men. I mean, the women didn't come upon until. 2000? I'll say what?
Werner, I don't know.
I'll say somewhere within the last, 4 or 5 years. I'll leave it like that. One of our viewers can actually tell us exactly when that came about. And as we were talking off camera, the women are actually some of the more exciting matches because they don't usually teetotal around like a lot of the men do. They kind of get in there and get ready.
Yeah, the women get after it.
2013.
Yeah, 2013. So when you look at that really, it wasn't all that long ago, 2013, especially when an industry like this started back in 1990. Well, December 93 was when the very first official show. Most people are aware that I always just say from 1994 on.
Right.
So again, that was.
But you're talking 2 weeks, yeah.
So again, we were talking about, we were talking about originally with the Tank Abbott and the ultimate. That was still the 8-man tournament concept. So 3 men in a night, the same 2-hour pay-per-view. So he was match number 2, and it was regulated for 20 minutes. And my goal was simply to somewhere get the takedown on him. I didn't know where, but I was going to get either the clinch or the takedown on him. At that point, and I'm going to keep him right where I want to keep him. That is somewhere on the ground.
Yeah, you did exactly that.
But even then, I mean, when you look at some of the stuff, some of the vicious things I did, because some of the things that are ruled as illegal now, then when you go back to your count, how many times did I raise my hand to the sky and I strike down with that elbow, which is known as the 12-6 elbow shot that is illegal now in mixed martial arts? You count how many times that I struck him with that. But then when you look at those open palms, people like going slapping them. Look at, if you were to catch that on that ear, and I could perforate your inner eardrum or something like that. Big open paw slap, especially if you put it. Have people never seen these? Is it the Russians that started this up? They have this drunken little thing there where they have these slapping contests.
Yeah.
Where basically you got to put it right there and pow, and then I return the favor, and whoever gets basically knocked out or can't continue on is the loser.
Yeah.
And the winner goes on. So
more ways than one. Yeah.
well, again, it's I always say it's between arm wrestling, slapping. I mean, they've had arm wrestling and punching, all kinds of things that take place that only with enough beer in you can you come up with some of these.
Only the
activities.
Russians are man enough to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how'd you feel at the end of the fight when Tank jumped over the cage and just walked out?
Well, he knew. He knew. Okay. That was the first time that they were waiting for judges. He went over to the cage door and even asked John to open that up because he knew I dominated him in that match. And then when John said no, I mean basically Tank just went over the cage wall. But even when I left that cage, I had a group of I think I had 4 guys that were there. My thing was to I wanted them to come in tight to me. And to basically come in and basically put a towel up over my head because there are Tank Abbott fans, and I've been at shows before where long neck beer bottles were being lobbed at the cage wall, have kerchinged off the walls and stuff like this. And I'm thinking, I want to leave this cage now. He's only match number 2. I still have one more match. There was match number 1. Now just got done with match number 2. I have to wait to see who's about to come out on match number 3. So that, again, the 8-man tournament, when you talk about that concept, I mean, Don, when you think about how many of these young fighters today, male and or female, could they handle, first off, the mental aspect of knowing that you're going to show up on a Friday night to not a weigh-in, a press conference. You're going to meet the other 7 participants that night. They're going to pull out the bingo ball machine, and boom, there's Don Frye's name come up, and boom, here comes your opponent. And for you now know less than 24 hours before you climb into the cage, here's your first guy. And you met the other 6 guys there too, knowing that you kind of have to watch some of these other matches to kind of know who's going to.
And that was before the internet was actually getting going too, so you had no opportunity to do any kind of scouting at all.
There was no sure dog. There's no full contact fight. I couldn't simply just type in Don Frye's name to find out. Okay, what? Oh, he's a stand-up. He's this. He's that. You had nothing to go on.
No, you had to ask somebody and then trust them.
Exactly. So no, it was. I remember being at an event. And we actually had to run over to a local Blockbuster video to get an old UFC tape, just to look at an opponent, to know who he was. That's all. Yeah. So that was again kind of comical because like a lot of our viewers are like going to go, "What do you mean there was no internet? There was no cell phone? There was no people. There was none of that stuff."
Right.
So and.
Wait till you got back to the hotel to make a phone call.
Some of us can go back even a whole lot further, talking about pay phones, talking about having a home line, having actually an actual fax machine inside your office.
The answering machine, it's a separate unit over here. Got the red light blinking.
Yeah. And I don't know if you were actually aware or parties to this, but they used to even have what was known as a party line.
Yep.
Okay, so that, and again, for our viewers here, a party line means there could have been 10 or 12 other families, all on the same phone service, so that as you get ready to pick up the phone, mounted on your wall or sitting on the table, you pick up the stage where you actually are doing a rotary type thing, not pushing buttons, rotary type of thing, dial numbers. As you pick it up, someone else is always talking out there. You have to simply, oh, excuse me, sit it back down. But if they've been the same people that have been on there for like the last 45 minutes to an hour, you're like going, come on, when are you going to get off the phone? Or who's listening in on your conversation?
Right.
Gosh, I think we have the same problem today. Who's listening on our conversation, but it's not. It's a different kind of party line now, aren't we? Oh, wow, okay. Big Brother's watching out for us to make sure
U.S.
that.
government.
Yeah.